Inflammation is one of the leading root causes of chronic health disease on the planet, and you probably have it too. But what is inflammation, and should you be worried about it? Well, the answer is that it depends. We all have inflammation in our bodies at some point. It is a naturally occurring process, and it happens on a daily basis. In fact, you will likely have heard of inflammatory conditions such as tendinitis, bursitis, arthritis. But really, any condition with itis at the end indicates that there's an inflammatory response going on. Problems such as rhinitis, dermatitis, bronchitis, cystitis, and so on. But what is inflammation? Inflammation is your body's response to an irritant, usually something that damages your cells, such as trauma, or stimulates your immune system. This can include cell damage from something like a cut or trauma, a chemical irritation to something that you've eaten or something you've touched, or it could be radiation from something like sunburn, or it could be the result of a pathogen such as bacteria or a virus. This response leads to the production and release of chemicals, for example, histamine, which stimulate an increase of blood flow. And this is often why you see an area go red and swollen. These chemicals also irritate your nerves, but that's a good thing because it helps to keep you away from the thing that's damaging you in the first place, and therefore damaging the area more. So acute inflammation, like in the process I've just described, is a good thing. You want this to help you deal with short-term problems. If you cut yourself, the area becomes inflamed, and it stimulates your body to start healing it. But inflammation can become a problem if it stays in the area for too long and is not cleared away. And that's when you start to see other problems develop over time, such as type 2 diabetes, eczema, psoriasis, gut issues, rheumatoid arthritis, Alzheimer's, and more. Factors that can lead to chronically elevated levels of inflammation can include things like low levels of vitamin D, eating a diet high in processed foods or having high blood sugar levels, food intolerances, stress, poor sleep, certain medications, being overweight, and eating a diet high in pro-inflammatory foods. If you think you might have inflammation going on, you can get your blood tested. You can get it tested for CRP and ESR. CRP is a marker of short-term inflammation, whereas ESR is a marker of more longer-term inflammation. So the two combined work really well. There are other markers that you can get tested for, but these two are the main ones. So should you always want to lower your inflammation? Well, inflammation can be a good thing in the short term. It helps to deal with damage and infections, so it's very much needed. So if you reduce your inflammation levels too early, then it can lead to the problem lasting longer and developing into something else. So in the case of acute inflammation, it is good to let it be. Let your body just deal with it on its own. After that, if the inflammation is not cleared away and it becomes chronic, that's when you can start to see other health issues start to develop. But rather than having a simplistic view of trying to completely remove the inflammation, a more appropriate goal might be to support healthy inflammation and reduce factors that lead to a more chronic state. So what can lead to chronically elevated inflammation? Generally speaking, chronic inflammation arises from modifiable lifestyle factors that you can control, such as diet, lifestyle, and medications. So there is a lot you can do to help keep your inflammation levels low. And here is just a small number of ways you can lower your inflammation. Eating a diet high in fiber, vitamins and minerals, low in sugar, and high in omega-3 fats. Making sure you're not eating foods that your body is sensitive or intolerant to. Reducing excess body fat levels. Making sure you're exercising regularly, improving the quality and duration of your sleep, supplementing with vitamin D if your vitamin D levels are low, and ensuring your digestion is working well and you're going to toilet at least once per day. There is no shortcut to reducing your inflammation. Managing your inflammation will require effort on your part, but it can be done if you can implement some of these factors that I've just told you about. If you can do that, you'll have a good chance of lowering and keeping your inflammation levels down. So my question to you is, what can you do starting from today that's going to help to lower your inflammation levels and help you live a healthier and happier life?